Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
Ready, 95-56, 95-56. 56. You're not ready. You're not ready. Hey, check 24.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Brees now. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things that I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He's got his man here as Gary Jennings Jr. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
12.
On first down, Carson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It's caught, Lockett. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Alert.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This is Jennings. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole, because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force the early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Carson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. 47's the mic. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that.
This is Carson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd and 9. Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Go, 14. Let's go, honey. Let's go, honey. Tell me what you got.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Hey, tight down. There you go.
1st and 10 at the 18.
Bang out.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th.
And the pressure gets to him.
That's the same guy who's getting.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
They run it with Carson. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow. Time to me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Breeze now to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
53. 56 to Muck, boys. 56.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Check, 47. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go double count right here.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Will Lutz on for the point after. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department, as this remains a 6-3 score. So here's the kickoff now, as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The throw over the middle taken in. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet.
And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Ready, 95-56,
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
Hey, man, watch the boot.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely put on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we come upon halftime. 6-3 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
21. Check right. Watching it. Hey, Charlie. Double dog. That's the way. Good. I four. Ready.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Ready. Yellow lady. 55. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
From the gun on third down, Breeze. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10. Let's go. At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready there last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's get it together, defense.
Now it's Carson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch a slant.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
He wasn't ready.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They run again with Carson. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
Mike's 47.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
He's scared. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
They run it again with Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Breeze. And he finds Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick-6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Let's go. Kill.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Breeze to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Stop your whining. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Tempo, tempo. 4-7's the mic. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
This time Wilson will throw. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
And they're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage.
10 yards on the pickup.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Run pass, run pass. Watch the slap.
Here's Wilson. And Jennings has it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They run it for the first time to the backup Murray. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 39.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, okay, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Choose the mic, boy. 52. Ready? Let's go, baby. Ready? Get that ball. Check 52.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Darnold. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the air. Check 26, check 26.
Now a give, right side. Swift. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Let's go, baby.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
He's mine, he's mine, he's mine. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Jets' 21-yard line.
19. Come on. 55. 54. Don't use you. 54. Out. Check 55.
Now a give, right side. Swift. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Hey, watch the slant. Banjo. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Not here.
And with the play clock running low, Bill O'Brien's going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Let's go, DJ. Hey, man up, D. Check. 54. Check 24. 36. Check 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Fairbairn is good. Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
We got this. The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Whitney merciless, able to get him for a loss of about 3.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Darnold. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or 2. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go, son. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 41, go, son.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. But now it'll be 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Texans, Will Fuller. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Banjo, banjo, banjo. Hey, hey, watch it, watch it.
On 1st down, Swift. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 4-yard line.
Hey, what's that? 19! 19! Man, I got you.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at the
41 Mike. Hey, let's pin them. Ready? Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice, safe throw and a good one.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards there, a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run on first down. It's Bell, and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, Darnold. That one complete to Anderson. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Darnold down to throw. And Darnold, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on 2nd and 16, Darnold. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DJ Reader able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. On 3rd down, here's Bell. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. So on 4th down, Adam Gase turns to the field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now,
and he is in. Touchdown, New York. A 3-yard touchdown run as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Set, 19.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. It's caught. It's Miller. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. From the gun, here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Looking to throw on second down. Darnold, he's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before the break, Darnold. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we're at halftime in this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
The 25-yard line.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Swift. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Watson off play action. And it's complete. Hooper. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
Reset. 19. 59. Let's go, Tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this. 59 mark. 59 mark. Check. 59. 24. Stop here, D.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
On 3rd down, Swift. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
A gain of 7. First down, Texans.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Swift. And a short gain down to about the 33. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Watson on target here to Fuller. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
13 yards. First down, Houston.
Watson and the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive.
Check. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check 50. 31. Keep going down. He's coming.
Now a give right side. Swift trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go. Watch twist. Watch twist. 954. 955.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. And again this time to the tailback. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will take the lead at 13 to 10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder.
Let's go, baby.
It's a gain of 11. That's good for the Jets. First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Go. You must be dreaming. There we go.
A first down throw, Darnold. Herndon's got it complete. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
High 7.
From the 40 now on second down. Darnold, and he's got it complete to Anderson. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And it's caught by Herndon. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
41 Mike. 41 Mike.
On first down, Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Hey, box drop, box drop. Hey, let's get some penetration here.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Open man is Anderson. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. Caught by Cup. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They face a second down, but they are in field goal range.
80 weapon. Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Go, set. 180. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Hey, Delta. The Mike. 41's the Mike. Go, go, go. 41 Mike. 41 Mike. Man out, man out, man out, man out.
Darnold now to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Cooper Kupp there to make the grab. And the Jets are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. they go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the time.
Now it's Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. Back to throw. It finds his target, Fuller. And out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Watson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Stay with your man. 53 to Mike. 53.
Watson. The catch made by Hopkins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And this is incomplete, so no miracles here on the final play, and this ball game is over. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.